The Colony, Texas is one of the most overlooked and undervalued cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, in my opinion. It's one of those older cities that quickly became overshadowed by its northern neighbors, Little Elm and Frisco. So today we're exploring the Colony, Texas in depth. We're looking at the Colony's history, what it's like to live in the Colony, and we're also talking affordability, employment, lifestyle, and real estate, which we'll also get into comparing the Colony with other cities in the DFW Metroplex. So essentially, we're looking at it all. We're looking at everything you must know about the Colony, Texas. The Colony is north of Dallas and at one point was actually on the outskirts of the DFW Metroplex, until, as mentioned before, the rapid growth of Little Elm, Frisco, and Prosper pretty much overshadowed it. The Colony has one major highway in Sam Rayburn Tollway, which I do believe was a cause for it being overshadowed, but that's a story for another day, which this same tollway is the one that you're going to use to get to major cities such as Fort Worth, which is going to take you about 40 minutes. Now, if you're trying to get to Dallas, that's about a 30 to 35 minute commute. Now, if you're trying to catch a flight, it's about a 15-minute commute to DFW International Airport. Now, those travel times are for the more popular areas. If you're trying to get a better representation of traffic, check out this 30-minute test, which is a visual of how far you can go within the DFW Metroplex within 30 minutes of the Colony. So now that we know where in the world the Colony is, I want to welcome you to the DFW Homeowner YouTube channel, the go-to real estate channel for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. My name is Jaime Resendez, your local realtor and team leader, able to help you make money in real estate whether you're buying or selling. And a huge way to support us, the channel, and also other residents is by hitting that like button. All right, so let's get back to the Colony because this is what you came for. The Colony is located in Denton County and has over 43,000 residents as of 2020. Now, the Colony is also known as City by the Lake, given that so much of the city borders Lewisville Lake. Now, while this community was already thriving, it didn't formally receive its name, the Colony, until 1977. Now, in reality, the Colony is one of those cities that, unless you're from a surrounding city, you wouldn't know where it's at on the map, which does sound like a bad thing, but in reality, trust me, it's not. Because you see, I used to live in Castle Hills, which is in Carrollton, Texas, south of the Colony. And every other weekend, I would find myself in the Colony hanging out with some friends. So it's really not a bad spot. It's just one of those cities that, unless you're being told, hey, you're in the Colony, you wouldn't even know it. But on to how it's being viewed by third-party sources, let's check out what niche.com has to say, which uses millions of public data points to compare cities all across the country, and gave the Colony an A rating aggregating these 12 categories that you see on the screen. Now, for the complete report that goes into every single category in detail and how they came up with these ratings, check out the link in the description. All right, so let's start having some fun. Let's see what recreation looks like at the Colony. The Colony is home to a recreation center, a community/senior center, and an aquatic park. And it's also fortunate enough to have a large collection of parks all throughout the city. Now, if trails and bikeways are more of your speed, then you're in luck given that the Colony is really prioritizing those items at this time. Now, if your family goes to the park for the playgrounds, the Colony also has you covered. All right, so now let's take a look at one of the most important criteria for every single resident, which is the schools. Because regardless if you're renting or buying or selling, it does not matter. The school system really impacts your property taxes and also the home value of your home. Now, overall, the Colony has 22 schools. 18 are preschools, 9 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 1 high school, 10 public district schools, and 12 private schools. Now, unfortunately, as a real estate agent, I'm not able to go too in-depth into the school systems or ratings and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to leave a full report down in the description for you to check out. And what we also need to check out is, what is the Chick-Fil-A situation like? Is there a Chick-Fil-A in the Colony? And this is one of those situations that I actually didn't have to look this up because I know this location quite well. All right, so I'm only half joking with this Chick-fil-A situation, but it really is important, at least for me. But what's important for everyone, including you, is what the real estate prices are like. What's the real estate scene in the Colony? Because regardless if you're a renter or a homeowner, real estate has a huge impact on your quality of life. And as you can see, the typical home value of homes in the Colony is $433,307. Now, this value is seasonally adjusted and only includes the middle price tier of homes, which, speaking of home values, the Colony home values have gone up 27% over the past year. And that is not a typo. That is above the DFW average, by the way. And as you can appreciate with this 10-year chart, that last year was absolutely explosive. However, if you've been holding off until the prices come down, your wish might be fulfilled here in a couple of months. Now, if you're wondering how the Colony stacks up to its bordering cities when it comes to home values, check this out. The median home value in Little Elm is $476,000. For Frisco, you're looking at $713,000. For Carrollton, you're looking at $438,000. And for Lewisville, you're looking at $430,000. And as you might have noticed, there was one outlier with those prices, and that was in Frisco. So check out this video right here that gives you a full breakdown on Frisco, Texas. Now I know that if you haven't looked at real estate for a while or just haven't bought real estate ever, these numbers don't mean that much to you, especially if you're coming in from another state. So allow me to show you what the homes actually look like for these median home prices that we've been looking at in the Colony. All of the homes that you saw on the screen hover around that $434,000 median sales price. And if you want to know the monthly mortgage on homes of that value, check out this video that I made on how to calculate that in the DFW Metroplex. Now, it's super important that you check out that video, especially if you're coming in from another state. And while we know real estate is super impactful in our day-to-day life, let's look at something a bit broader. Let's look at the cost of living, because the cost of living in the Colony is actually 8% higher than the national average. In housing alone, you're paying 8% higher than the average. Now, when it comes to utilities, you're paying 10% more. Now, when it comes to groceries, you're actually paying less by 2%. And transportation is actually even lower by 10% in comparison to the national average. Now, at this point, if you're thinking that the Colony is right for you, then connect with our top realtors in the description. However, if you're not convinced, that's okay too. You might be on the fence. There's some things about the Colony that you love, but there's also some things about the Colony that you could seek some improvement on. Now, if you like some cities that are similar to the Colony, check out Carrollton and Farmers Branch.